Welcome to All Things New. You with your girl Sjaanie-D, and with me on the show today I have Narisha, none other than.
Good everyone, and welcome viewers to another beautiful episode on All Things New. My name is Narisha, the Majestic One. Hope you have a wonderful time with us here today.
Amen. So today's show is about womanhood, where we speak about from the day we were little to us as we are now. So we're gonna go into how womanhood started. I'll start with myself and then Narisha would follow. So growing up, I was, I went through a lot. In and out of hospital with my mom because I had an underactive thyroid. And then I had a squint repair, so I had to go for 2 operations, one when I was 2 and one when I was 10. The first one was not very successful. And then obviously going to school, I was bullied a lot, especially in primary school. I was, at the time, we moved to Cape Town, and I was in primary school, and I was bullied a lot. But with that, it didn't make me aggressive. I wasn't gonna have the attitude they have towards me. I was gonna stay who I am.
Yes.
Just because someone bullies you and says hurtful things doesn't necessarily mean that you should do the same.
Become a bully yourself.
I stuck to who I was because I'm not the type of person to hurt someone because they're hurting me. Yes, there are times we all get angry.
Yes.
As a little girl, any child for that matter, we get angry and we say things hurtful. And you say to your fellow mate at school or anything, and that person also cries because anyway they're little. I remembered one day I was a bit cattish. And with that, I remembered I had a little friend, and in Cape Town, growing up, it was all about hair.
Yeah.
So if you had sleek hair, it was like, oh no, I like your hair. And my hair was the best of both.
Yes.
Straight, and it could go curly. And then you get some kids that doesn't have straight hair.
Yeah.
So we would call the name Cruz.
Yeah.
And that's how I say to her, you got Cruz hair. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. Said Granny came to my mother's house. I hid in the bathroom. I was like, I'm not going to be enough for what I said, but she was so rude. But anyway, coming to the point is that as youngsters, especially girls can be nasty to one another. You don't want to see the next girl be prettier than you or have better than you, and you degrade the person. Because this is what we get taught from our parents. Now your parents sitting there in the couch, they gossiping. Who did you see this one? Did you see that one?
Which is wrong also.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can't blame us for what we hearing from adults.
Your upbringing, your guidance.
So but then again, also you've learned to forgive and forget. We use kids. Then the parents end up fighting because the kids fought it. Then we become friends, and then it causes a lot of. But with that said, growing up, for me, being bullied wasn't very nice, but I can actually thank God I was bullied because I wouldn't be
so strong
I am now if I did not go through that.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been confident, know that I am beautiful and wonderfully made in the eyes of God.
Yes.
So I actually can thank those people that actually bullied me in school because I wouldn't have been who I am because of that.
Yeah.
So, Misha, what do you do growing up as a young girl, as a little one? Actually?
My upbringing was very interesting. As a young girl, I grew up in 2 households actually. So I grew up, my grandparents raised me. I'm from my mother's maternal side. And that was just pure love to be honest,
Yeah.
you know. I was a very spoiled young child, but very disciplined, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, fortunately. So yes, I'm very grateful to my grandparents till date. They're late today, you know, may their beautiful souls rest in peace. And with my aunts,
Yeah.
I grew up in a household like that, a very strict household, very godly. Um, Lots of love, from what I can remember, you know, and I was really allowed to be a child, you know. At school again, I was bullied.
Yeah.
I was the child that was bullied because I've been chubby like all my life, you know. And it hurt me a lot. It scarred me a lot over the years. It was only into my adulthood, you know, when I had to rediscover, or rather just discover who I am as a person.
Yeah.
Bullying, don't bully, you know. And my advice also to parents out there, really, bullying is really a very bad thing. Like I said, I was a child that was bullied at school, but it stemmed more from low self-esteem and having no confidence. Like they said, you know, like the saying goes that, you know, we grow every day, and growth is a journey.
A journey.
You know. So because of that bullying, right, like I said, I was scarred up until into my adulthood, but it actually made me, it was a bit bittersweet comeback, you know. I became very bold when I had to when I had to go to high school, right? And luckily I changed schools. So now when my grandmother passed on, I had to go and live with my mum and my dad because of, I don't know what the reasons were, but anyway, yes, so I had to move to mum and dad. But now I had to start a new school. So when I went to the new school, it was new friends. And like I said, you know, I always knew that I was just a different being, you know, which I'm very grateful to the Lord Almighty that I'm one of his God's special daughters, you know. But anyway, so when I changed schools, I had this persona that, you know, nobody's going to bully me anymore. And I went into that school with a boldness that nobody's going to bully me. And that's where the bullying stopped. But I became a little bit of a bully because I had to be stern and firm, but I didn't know what it was like to be stern and firm and then other to be mean. Thank God I'm not mean anymore. But yeah, that was my childhood. But looking back to my childhood, like I said, I was a very healthy child. Don't remember, you know, any other challenges. Like I said, I grew up in a household with my grandparents that was a very loving and warm and well disciplined. That instilled a lot of good values in me, you know. So that was my childhood in a nutshell.
Wow, you had a nice childhood.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you know, we all grow up. And being a little kid, kids be kids. So guys, we're about to go in an ad break. Please stay tuned. Do not touch that remote. We will be back soon.
I've just finally got some time to do my own thing.
I'll send you a link. I'm doing some prints, trying to make accessories from them.
I'm really, really happy you like them.
Hey, it's Kay Davis.
What's happened?
To be honest, it's just not what we're looking for.
Kay. Hey, good to see you.
Welcome back. So you with your girl Sjaanie-D in All Things New, and we were discussing previously before we went into an ad about when we were in primary school. And with that being said, and now we're speaking about our teenage years. Yes, you know, teenage can be a challenge. So with that, I was 13 when I entered high school. And it was a challenge. Going to high school, you know, you coming through a new thing. Now it's popular. You're not those that's popular as a group, those that's not popular that has a group, and those that's semi-popular that has a group. I was not popular, people, just so you know. I wasn't. I was in a group of, let's say, not nerds, but, you know, just those. You know, those. Not even. Those shy ones that you can just bully them. Let's say that one.
The nerds.
Yes.
The nerds.
And you know, like being in that area, I don't regret not being popular in school, because today where are most of the popular kids?
Yeah, true.
The ones that were nerds are your doctors.
True.
So now, for example, me as a teenager, bully that's popular, bullying you can't find yourself, oh no, the person I bullied is my doctor. So yeah, you know, we all go through that. But with that said, womanhood on the whole, from our primary days to our teenage years, being a girl is a challenge at its own. Being a girl, you know, you have to be clean, presentable, you know, hair must be on check. And then you come through emotional. You become emotional, you start realizing, oh no, you got sick. You got your periods. You're going through you don't know what it is. You call your parents, mommy, what's happening? Oh, congratulations, my child, you become a young woman. So, you know, now you're thinking you're sitting there on the toilet, and sorry guys, and you not understanding what's happening to you until your parent has to come and tell you what's happening. And then you go through the emotions of being moody one minute to happy the next. And as a teenager, you go through, you know, a lot of peer pressure. You know, oh no, this one got a boyfriend, now you also want a boyfriend. But now you like someone and the person doesn't like you because you're too fat and no one's into fat people. And I was fat, guys.
Not fat.
I was fat.
Chubby.
No, I was big.
Okay.
Grade 8, I was fat. And, you know, growing up being fat, you know, when society, or let's just say social media at that time, or magazines has this
petite
vision of you must be thin. Thin is pretty. You know, so you feel like you're not pretty enough, you're not worthy enough. You don't know your worth because of what society has, what society puts out there. So being a girl, growing up, not knowing your worth, it gets challenging. You know, so that is my experience. Not feeling worthy. What was yours, Narisha?
Man, my teenage years was interesting. That's what actually all my problems started, you know. If I could go back to any time, I would want to go back to my teenage years, you know, just to zhuzh up a few things. They would change things over. But anyway, you know, the past is in the past, and that's okay. For me, teenage years is very, very vital in a young woman's life, because that is when your foundation gets laid now, you know, for your future, which is adulthood. So it's very important. But anyway, so as I left off saying that in my childhood, I changed schools and then the bullying started. And then I hooked up with the wrong crowd of friends, which was my last year in primary. And obviously now from that going over into high school. So I used to be a swimmer. I'm still a strong swimmer, by the way, guys. And that used to be my sport. It's something that I regret till today that I just left there because of high school years, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, picking up the wrong crowd of friends. Going over into high school, I took that we worked up like the same crowd. We all went over basically to the same high school, right? So that's where all my problems started. And now you've got to be the cool kid. And also, like just to touch on weight issues, you know. I was also a chubby. I was also a big girl, you know, all my life basically. And a lot of, how can I say, self-discrimination came from it because of what our peers would be saying and all of that, which, yes, I think robbed me of my self-esteem and my low confidence, and even society as a whole, even family, your own family, you know. It's what you tell your children, which is very important. So I feel like I lacked a lot of that, you know, because grown-ups would be making the comments or the jokes such as, you're too fat, or you know, things like that, not understanding, you know, you're speaking to a young girl, you know, who's finding herself, who's finding her identity in life and in society. So it really grew weary on me, and like I said, self-esteem was always a struggle for me. Low and confidence, not having any confidence, was also a big struggle for me. And with all of that came this other version of me that used to always, I like nice things. That's where my like from nice things came. If I dress it up, nobody would see the bruised young lady. Nobody would see she doesn't have self-esteem.
Like you're basically covering up how you
You
feel.
know,
just
but
to
then
look
the crutch
past.
shows eventually, you know, definitely self-esteem it's a very bad thing, it's a bitter thing, it's an ugly thing. But that was my teenage years. I was a very sad teenager, you know, that was just dressed up, and a lot of people saw past that hurting teenager, you know. But it was more personal things. I don't know, I can't blame any, I don't know, that would also be a topic for another day. But when I look back to my teenage years, I've got two beautiful daughters, you know. I try and I pray, like I live to instill good sense of, you know, I make them understand and know, you know, the things that I wasn't made or known to understand, that maybe could have boosted my ego, you know. I tell my daughters, you are beautiful as is. I make sure that I plant those seeds. So it's very important, ladies,
Positive affirmation
out there, you know, just always, or even if you're not a mother, you know, just always make sure that you uplift another teenager, because that is your next generation, basically, as women, you know, going into womanhood, which we will touch on later on in the show. So that is it for me, you know. My teenage years was very sad, guys. That's where all my problems started. But, you know, God always has greater plans, you know, and like I say, that I'm one of God's favorite daughters. So yes, my teenage years were sad, but we thank God that I'm here now, in my adulthood as well, you know. But it has shaped me a lot, because if I didn't go through the hurdles that I did, I wouldn't have known what I know today. And I can help another young lady out there, or just my girls, you know, to do better. And I'm just happy that I've healed that young teenager. It's still a journey, but I am healing her. So yeah, that's the good thing. That was,
you know,
my
we had a
teenage
journey,
years.
eh?
Yeah.
Being a teenager is a journey.
Yeah.
So guys, if you had a challenge in high school and you've been bullied, or you were the bully, or you had a friend that was a bully, this show is for you. If you know, put in a comment what your experience was in your teenage years.
And what helped.
We would gladly know what your experiences was. And with that said, thank you so much. We will be going in for an ad at this very moment. Thank you so much for tuning in to All Things New. We will be right back.
What can I to source of food. Let up your mind, shake out your moves.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on All Things New. We just spoke about prior on our episode about womanhood, and we just all together, womanhood, teenagers. So we were on the phase of teenagers. Yes. And we all go through things with teenagers. So now, from a teenager point of view, we all know. Now we're getting into adulthood. So the responsibility goes up, challenges go higher, and So with me, Sjaanie-D, my womanhood experience, when I became, let's say, 18, that's when I become a woman.
Yeah.
And, it's been a challenge for me, being a woman, 18. Being a woman is not an easy journey.
No.
It's challenging. You taught to be responsible at that time already.
Independency.
You need to be independent. You cannot be dependent on people. You need to wake up, open up your eyes, see what the world is offering. Things are evil out here, and as a woman, you're gonna go through experiences with whether you're dating, in your job, in life in general. We're gonna go through things.
Yeah.
And my womanhood experience, I can say, has been a journey, been challenging, but I can say for myself that I'm actually grateful to God that, He's made me the woman I am today.
Yeah.
I am grateful. I am not I'm not hard on myself more than I am with someone else. I'm always push myself. And if I can't get what I want, I'm hard on myself. That's my journey. So being a woman isn't about, easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But being from a little one to a teenager to a woman, and then you become a mother.
Yeah.
I myself don't have children at the moment, but I'm still a woman.
Yeah.
Eventually. So, Risha, tell me about your womanhood.
Okay, also a very beautiful transition, I would say, to transform over to, if one should say it like that, from teenagehood into adulthood, basically.
Yes.
That's what womanhood comes from. Again, it's very important. We cannot do anything without Christ.
No, yeah.
You cannot do anything.
Number
And
one.
especially as a woman, not sidelining, the males. But as a woman, we need God every step of the way. Especially, like they said like the Bible says, train a child, train a child while that child is still young, in the ways of the Lord, or rather, then to spare the rod.
Yeah.
No, what does it say? It says something like that in the Bible that, train your child in the ways of the Lord,
Yeah.
Very important, so that we don't get to a place of not knowing, because without God's wisdom, without the guidance, with God's, walking any life, without, with in a godly way, or just with the principles of God's kingdom, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost. So, like I said, I came from a very disciplined upbringing, godly way, but then out there, is where you can't control what you've been taught back home, actually, and also environment speaks a lot. But anyway, getting back to my adulthood, my womanhood, it was a beautiful transition to say that, the least, like I said, because my teenage years shaped me, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And I'm a very strong woman, even if I should say it so myself, which I never thought that before. I used to always sell myself very short.
Like, that low self-esteem.
Yeah, but also it's a challenge to be a woman, You
Yes.
never know who you are really.
And you don't know how strong you are until God puts you to the test.
Exactly. But if you don't know Christ, that's just I just know that if you don't have Christ, if you don't know who Christ
And you
is,
just drown.
you're just gonna be lost, you know. So for me, my transition was with Christ,
Yeah.
going on into adulthood, you know. Like that's when I really felt God's presence more heavily over to who I am as a being and who I am as a woman, you know.
Yeah.
I would like to regard myself actually as a woman of God, you know, not just any woman.
Yeah.
Like, you know, especially now in my full circle womanhood, you know.
Yeah,
It's not been easy because I'm a mum, you know, and I'm raising two beautiful daughters. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been challenging, but it's been a very beautiful
And I think
journey.
raising daughters
Yes.
is more challenging than maybe raising sons.
Yes.
Because you have to, you know, let your daughters know, give them the affirmation that they are beautiful,
Yes.
rather from their mother and their father than
Yes.
outside there. Because
Of course.
outside there, they get this words of, oh no, you ugly,
Of
you
course.
this, you that.
Of
So
course.
it's always good to come from a parent so that they know I am worthy,
Yes.
I am beautiful, I'm the apple of the
Yes.
God's eye.
Yes.
And being a woman, you know, you get so many challenges. Oh, I'm to this, I'm to that. And we
Yeah.
still, up until today,
Yeah.
as a woman, we
It's an
have
everyday journey.
insecurities about our bodies. You know, as a woman, we feel like, oh, we're not pretty enough, or we're not this enough, we're not that enough, because we see the next person and how they look and how they're established. We basically put ourselves down, not knowing that we are all the apple of God's eye.
Yeah.
We are all beautiful in our own way.
Yeah.
We cannot be the same.
But you know, that is, you know, like self-love is very important.
Yeah.
You know, and in adulthood, you know, it's like adulthood, or let me say womanhood.
Yeah.
You know, it's important for women to love each other.
Amen.
But if you don't love yourself, you can't love somebody else. It's like you can't draw from an empty cup, you know. So that is what I had to engrave and ask God to help me, or rather for God to engrave in me that, you know what, I am made in God's image.
Amen.
Whether I'm big, whether I'm small, I am beautiful.
And you know, being a woman comes with setting boundaries.
Yes.
Because when you don't set the boundary as a woman, you allow people to walk in and walk all over you. And then when you actually stand on your feet and you say, I had enough,
Yeah.
then they're like, but I don't know you like this. Why? Because you didn't set that boundary from the beginning.
Yeah, but what people think of us shouldn't matter, you know?
No.
And the sooner in womanhood, which / adulthood means, you know, that's one combination, basically, it's one thing in a nutshell, is that we live and feed way too much on what other people think of us.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is where, you know, we had a message the other day in church, and it was based on who is your counsel? Who are you listening to? You know?
Yeah.
So hence, all things new, you know, 2026 should be
Positives.
about positivity.
Walk away from the negatives.
Who are you listening to? Who is your counsel? Very important who you
And it's
give
also
ear to.
important to choose your friends wisely.
Yeah. Who you give ear to? Who do you listen to? What do you take into? It's like food consumption, you know? What do you put into it? Like the saying goes,
What you put here,
what you
put
eat,
here.
you are who you
Amen.
are what you eat. So same applies to what are you listening to? Who's your counsel? You know? So yeah, that is my womanhood for me is very important, you know, as to what my surroundings, who is my surroundings, and who am I listening to, you know? And that is my daily resource basically. Who am I listening to? And what am I listening to? That is my guidelines, you know. And it still always comes down to what are you anchored into? For me, it's godly things of God's kingdom, and that is what helps me through womanhood.
You know, I came across this question the other day. You know, we always ask ourselves, what makes you a woman? Is it what you wear, what you say, or what you do?
Yeah.
And many times we come across, what we wear makes us beautiful. Sometimes, as a woman, because we all get watched from the other sex, which is male, and what you wear as a woman also defines who you are. Because sometimes people would say, why do you wear that? Or why are you wearing clothes that's you're half naked? What you wear also shows the person you are. Because when you covered, woman of faith, woman of God, itself, being covered doesn't mean you're not beautiful.
Yeah, that's very true.
It does not mean you're not beautiful, girls out there. And this is also speaking to the youngsters out there. Ladies, young ones, you wear a striped tank top. Your tummy's out, your jeans low waist. You, in your mind, you think you're looking very pretty and very sexy. A guy comes up and he approaches you in a disrespectful way. And you step and like, how can you disrespect me? You just disrespected yourself by how you're dressing. So how do you expect a man to respect you? These are the things we go through as a woman, as a teenager. We need to be careful what we put on our bodies. How we walk, how we address ourselves and how we speak. Because there's a lady, and ladies, my mother always told me that a lady is seen and not heard.
Yeah.
And with a lady, you are soft. You are soft spoken. You don't have to be loud for someone to hear you. As a lady, that is a lady. How my mom. When you chew bubble gum, she says you don't. That is not ladylike.
Yeah.
You chew with your mouth closed. No, it should be like a secret.
Yeah.
When you're chewing gum.
Yeah.
And being a woman is really, it's a lot that comes from us, expectations.
Yeah, but for me, Sean, okay, let's take the part out of it. Also, I live my life according to not boxing.
Yeah.
Who I am as a person and my daughters.
Yeah.
Yes, very true on what you say. People always judge on how you look.
Yeah.
So I really refrain from discriminating, against what we put on our bodies, and so. But I am very big for dress what you feel comfortable in. Do you understand me? And what suits your body type.
Dress to your body type.
Yes.
But also dress modestly where you're not going to have your boobs on show, and then when you want the respect, you're not going to get it because
I
out
totally
there,
agree.
we're not going to get the respect. As women, we don't get the respect we
I'm
deserve.
saying, dress what suits your body type,
Yes.
So if you're a curvier woman, or if you are big and a breast size or whatever, dress what is comfortable, meaning put on your size, and like you said, modestly, you understand what I'm saying? Or rather just love yourself. And when you do love yourself, you will know what it is to put on what's comfortable, for your body to be comfortable.
But when we say comfortable, because people can take us, misunderstand comfortable, because they put in on a tank top and a jeans that's low, that's comfortable for them.
No. What I'm saying is, wear what suits your body type.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Which is comfortable, what you're going to feel comfortable in. My mother always also used to say, don't let the clothes wear you. You wear the clothes. Confidence is a very, that's where it also comes in what we wear as women, and teenagers. And so, because some women wear those things to be accepted in society. And like you said, you understand what I'm saying? That is not where you gain your respect.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. When you start loving yourself, you'll know, where to cover up, what to cover up. That's where the comfortability comes in. That's what I mean when I say it,
Because,
comfortability.
as we speak about comfortability, our viewers may misunderstand us when we say comfortable, because they can think, but I'm wearing something I'm comfortable in. If I want to have my stomach out, and that, by all means, if that's what you feel comfortable, but all we're saying is that if you're going to wear that, don't expect someone out there that has a dirty mind to disrespect you. So what you put on also determines how respect you have, how much respect you actually have for yourself.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you out there have been disrespected due to the outfits you wear,
Yeah.
maybe to the mall, to a shop, sometimes we even go to the shop going in our pajamas because
that's
we're
a
too
no-no.
lazy.
That's a no-no in my household.
We're too lazy to be putting on a jeans or just maybe a pants just to
Yeah.
look presentable to the shop.
Yeah.
Okay, I can be say I'm guilty now. I do go to the shop in pajamas.
We've all been guilty on, a lazy day with pajamas. Oh, but my mom hates it. And if one day she watches this episode, my mom hates it. It's just, again, as a girl, that has been installed in us,
Yeah.
love yourself. Like my mother's got this, or rather let me say, I was groomed in a family that when you look good, you
Yeah.
feel good.
Amen.
When you look good, you feel good.
Dress up,
Don't look like your problems.
get up, dress up, go out, you
Yes,
feel who
not
you
in
are.
your pajamas. My mother will kill me if I should encourage that. We do get our lazy days and whatever. But our mums is also from the olden days. So
Yeah.
they believe, as
Modesty.
a woman, you get up and you get yourself ready before you touch anything. Just love on yourself
Yeah,
first,
definitely.
clean yourself up, whatever. And so to get up and go out with some pajamas or whatever, it's always been a no-no in my household, even though I'm also guilty of it. Yeah, but I do understand where my mom came from with that, it's also just,
Yes.
yeah.
So, no, definitely that is, womanhood is it's a
lot.
journey.
It's a lot.
So, guys, with that said, if you became a woman, you just recently turned 18, or you're turning 21, or you're in your 30s in that area, and you've also had the challenges of being judged or anything relating to that, drop us a comment on what your experiences were or is as an adult. Thank you so much. You are with Sjaanie-D with All Things New, with my girl.
Narisha, the majestic one.
Thank you for watching the show. Please note that a journey with all things new, it's not the end, it's just the beginning.